everyone, welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki. How are you guys doing? As always, let me know by leaving a comment down below. So I'm feeling pretty rough today. For some reason my allergies have just gone through the roof and my eyes are itchy, they are watering, I'm sneezing, my throat is sore, so I'm not having a very good day. So I thought that for this week's video I would just record a bit more of a time-lapse based video. So I'm going to try and hold it together long enough to explain what I'm doing in this video, and then I will cut to some time-lapse stuff, and occasionally I will jump in if there's anything interesting to say. But today we're going to be making the Lunar Lovegood. I say we, I hope you come along for the journey. I hope that it being a time-lapse doesn't put you off. But I'm just going to record myself crocheting Luna all day and intersperse different bits of time-lapse footage. So yes, Luna, because this is the crochet toy that you voted for me to do next. Now, I apologise, the vote was probably nearly 2 months ago now. I closed the vote about a month ago, but I have been having so much fun making baby cardigans that Luna did actually get put on the wayside ever so slightly. But I'm going to go for that today because I know you guys want to see Luna made. So here we have it. There's a few changes that I'm going to make because I've already explained the main one I'm going to make because this is just not acceptable. This has got to go. So basically in the film she has these spirally glasses and she has a pinky lavender coat, and depending on the lighting in the shot, that coat sometimes looks pink, especially in the lighting used for promotional footage. That coat looks very, very pink. But in the film itself, I think it looks a little bit more lilac-y purple. You can Google Luna Lovegood. It's one of the first things that comes up is a picture of her wearing this coat. So if you scroll through some of them, you'll see the slightly different tones that the coat has. But one thing is for certain, it ain't this colour. This colour is discernibly pink. It's actually got an undertone of orange to it, so it's definitely nowhere near the colour spectrum for a lilac-y pink coat. It's out. And instead we're going to sub in. Instead we're going to sub in this yarn here. I think this is far better. This is actually a lavender pink colour. So actually the ball band itself is discernibly pink. Like, there's no question that is a pink ball band there with the information all over it. So that itself, you can see the hint of the actual purple going on in there. By comparison, yeah, not even close. So that is what we're going to do for her coat, for definite. Let me show you some more of the yarn. Now, this is the yellow for her hair and her beige for her skin. Now, I'm incredibly tempted to swap out the yellow too because she has a much lighter, more ethereal looking silvery gold type hair. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you've seen the pictures, if you've seen the films, you know that Draco and Luna's hair are not yellow, and they're not even conventional blonde. They have this lighter, bleached quality to it that looks really lovely. And then I thought, actually, there's just no way I'm going to get that in yarn. There's no way I'm going to be able to mimic that. So I'm just going to stick with the yellow. We've got some grey yarn for her skirt and tights. Now, just bear this in mind. This is grey. We're going to come back to that. Black for some details, as usual. And then here are the two colours that they've got for her spiral glasses. Luna is definitely a bold individual, but this colour combination does not even remotely go. Now, if this was a brighter blue, I totally understand, but this is a pastel-y blue and a bright, scarlet red. When I looked at this, I couldn't understand why this was in the pack, and then I remembered that this was meant to be the red for the spiral eyes. So this is what we're going to do instead. Seeing as we're not using this for her outfit, I'm actually going to bring this in and make her spiral glasses out of these two colours instead, because they're much more on the same sort of tonal base. And then that's going to be the coat and the frame of the glasses. So those colours go far better together. They're all, like I said, they're all that sort of pastel tone. So that's the plan. So this is actually going to go, I'm going to put that away somewhere. One sec. Okay, we're back. Sneezing fit is mostly over. Sorry about that. Okay, so what else we've got in here? We have got stuffing. Great, always love stuffing for these things. It's necessary. We've actually got a half decent hook. So those of you that have been on this channel a while, or those of you that would like to jump back and see some of my other Harry Potter creations, will know that I've gotten kits in the past from the same supplier where we've had a green plastic hook, and that hook has been super bendy. Like, I've actually sat here on a video and bent it. By comparison, check it out. That's actually half decent. Now, you might be tempted to think, okay, well, it's shiny and it doesn't bend. Is this metal? I don't think it is. I'm going to try and hold this close to the microphone and tap it, see if you can hear it. I don't know if you will or not, but... So I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a very plastic tap. I don't think this is metal, but it's really good, actually. I was tempted to use it, except that when you have much smaller hooks, you really want a good ergonomic handle. So I'm actually going to swap it out and use this one here. That is my own version. Yes, so it's size 3 crochet hook there. Now, they say the yarn is DK yarn. It's not. It's definitely a lot thinner. So a size 3 mil is definitely what I would go for with this yarn. And taped on the inside is a really good darning needle. So when you're using yarn, you want a good eye of your needle, but usually you get too blunt at end. I think this will be okay because the stitches are not going to be so tight that I can't sort of wiggle this needle into the place it needs to go, but if not, I've got some other needles that I can use with yarn to do some sewing. So yes, that's the yarn, that's the kit. I'm about to descend into another sneezing fit, so I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to bring you back when we start the time lapse of me crocheting Luna. I just realised that I was going to explain to you why I pointed out that this is grey yarn. So one thing I have found with these kits is that the instructions tend to have a few errors in them. And sometimes they're little simple errors, just like the colour of yarn. So in the Ron kit, that is very much based off Harry, there was a mix-up between whether he had brown or grey trousers. I can't remember now if the pattern was actually suggesting that he should have a different pair of trousers to what Harry had, but I thought that considering they're wearing a uniform, I was going to make them the same. So that was one issue. Occasionally the hair, we've had issues with that because I've made up the shape of the hair and it's not matched the photo at all. Yes, and then in here, the body is apparently made with blue yarn, and I can assure you that this picture of Luna has a grey skirt and tights. So yeah, the blue yarn is this. So yes, really odd instructions as well. So the body is actually made up and completely hidden by detail. So I would normally do something like this, starting in the grey, work my way up, change colour yarn into the pink, and then finish all in one item. This is saying that underneath all of this is a grey body that you add a skirt to, and then you make a pink shirt and you put it over the top. Seems a little complicated, but we'll go with that, it's fine. We have the yarn. What I'm probably not going to do is this for the arms. So in the other patterns, you would start at the hand, change colour, stitch up and close up into a flatter seam to put against the body. This looks so awkward. This one is done with a separate hand and a separate sleeve. Both worked from this end and this end that are joined here. I'm not big on that, so we hid the colour change in the other patterns by just crocheting up a small cuff that got sewn on. It was fiddly, but I don't think it's going to be as fiddly as stitching this arm to the body, especially when the head is in the way and already stitched on. So I'm probably going to change that arm. I don't like how that looks. I don't think that's going to work nicely, which might mean that when I get to that point I have to ignore the instructions in this pattern and just go and fish out my other patterns and follow those instructions instead, just with the right colours. So we're going to do that. So my advice is, if you're new to crochet and you're trying to follow this pattern, bear in mind that sometimes your instinct that it's wrong is probably right. Just find somebody on the internet who has worked this pattern, Google them, Google these groups of crocheters, ask the question. Someone will probably be able to help you and give you an amended pattern that works so much easier. So don't feel like you have to follow the pattern. I know newer people who are newer to crochet will want to follow the pattern, but just bear in mind sometimes it's better asking for someone's help in one of these crochet groups, and they'll be able to give you something that's actually easier to do. Design a little bit more for this, and it closes up after, so it's actually worked top to bottom, but it doesn't say that in the pattern, which is a bit of a oversight really. I think that's an important detail. So yeah, that's going to stitch to the head, and the skirt's going to come here and go down. That is a bit annoying because I find it more difficult to stitch the head to a closed body. So yeah, wish I'd realised that sooner, because then I would have worked the pattern backwards. But I can't do very much about that now. I'm just going to stuff it, close it off, and yeah, then work it onto the head. Okay, so it's the next day, and yeah, things got a little bit busier yesterday than I thought they were going to be, so I didn't make as much progress as I had hoped, but we did make a really good start on Luna. We have managed to make, so far, the head, the hair, the glasses with these lenses in them, facial features, the body and the skirt, the shirt and the collar. So that just leaves the arms and legs. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be changing the arm pattern anyway, so it's fine to be taking a bit of a break right now, just to work out where I'm up to. And yeah, so kind of happy with that still. It would have been nice to have got a little bit more done, but things just got busier. What can you do? And that just means that I get the opportunity to show you the finished version in a future video. So I hope that you enjoyed this little time-lapse video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.